body count. Does body count matter? Does body count matter for women in respects to how men view women? Does body count matter for women in respects to the way women view men? These are questions people ask nowadays. Men, well, let's look at it this way. Before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the video comes out. If you'd like to get my help personally, marksinspiration.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can check me out on Instagram at marksinspiration, or on Twitter at marksinspiration, on Rumble at marksinspiration, Facebook, Mark Daniels, marksinspiration, and what else? What have I missed? I missed something, I'm sure, but let's go with it. Just check out the link in the description and become a member of the Dragon Ship, which we do the Dragon Ship podcast every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and my podcast, The Power Is Within, at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And December 3rd, we're going to have Afi Kingdom, AV, Alpha Villains, and King Dre are going to be here live in person at the studio. So be sure to check that out, because we're going to have a lot of gold nuggets on game and how to deal with women and the dynamics of relationships. Make sure you're here, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's go with why body count matters. Why does body count matter? Well, think about this. If you had a choice between a new iPhone 14 and an iPhone 14 that 14 or 15 or 20 people had owned, which one would you choose? Now, some people will say that that's objectifying women, comparing women to an iPhone, but you could say the same thing about men. The only difference is society looks differently upon men who have had a lot of women in contrast to women who have had a lot of men. Am I saying it's fair or that it's right? No, I'm just laying it out there for your viewing pleasure, for your consideration. If a woman's been with a lot of men, us men look at it like maybe she doesn't value herself. Why would she give herself away? Now, in contrast to man, he actually has to put out an effort. He has to be somebody. He has to do something besides just say yes to get laid. So the man actually adds value. It actually adds value to him in the eyes of a lot of people, and even to women when he has a lot of women. Now, they will not admit that, but all women, or most women, there are exceptions of course, want a man that other women want. And it's true for us men too. We want a woman that all men want. The difference is we don't want a woman that all men have had. Because men will want to be with a woman who all men have had, but they will want to be with her for one thing, and that's sex. They will not want to protect and provide for her because she's been through too many men. I know this makes a lot of women angry, and some feminized men, it makes them angry. I didn't make the rules. I didn't make it the way it is. That's just the way men view things. And if you think about it, if you're an opponent to this and you don't like this view, then why is it that rarity, things that are rare, are valued in our society? Virginity is valued because it's rare. Virginity has been valued since the beginning of man, since the beginning of recorded time. Do we think that because of 60 years of women's liberation, that's what it was called when I was young, that that's going to change? No. Do we think that we have this equality going on now, this push for equality, that all of a sudden that thousands and thousands of years of evolution of the mind of man and women is going to change and say, well, it's okay for a woman to be with a lot of men. I like her just the same. No, it's not going to change. It may change in 1,000, 10,000 years, but it's not going to change in 60 years. The viewpoints, the ideas, the thousands of years of evolutionary, evolutionarily program. Evolutionary program, okay. Yeah, it's not going to change. It's not going to change overnight. And the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want it to change? What is the value of going out and sleeping with a bunch of different men for a woman? What does she gain from that? Experience? I know there's some women that say, well, they're just insecure because they're afraid the woman will have more experience or know more things. I don't think that's the issue, at least not from the men I've talked to and from my own experience. Now, I like having a sexual encounter with a woman who has a lot of experience, but she's definitely not someone that I would want to wife up or make my girlfriend, even though I've been with a lot of women. It's different. I had to put out effort. I had to be something. I had to make it happen, so to speak. A woman could just sit down and say yes. She can go to a bar and say yes. Even if she's not attractive, it's easy for her to find someone to have sex with. Not so with a man. A man can be very attractive and still have to put out a lot of work to get a woman to be with him. He has to be somebody. He has to develop himself. If a woman's born with natural beauty, or even not born with natural beauty, she still can go out today and find several different guys to have sex with her. They may not be optimal. They may not be exactly what she wants, but she can get that. Now, a man can go out and he's going to have a difficult time finding women to have sex with him. He may even get in trouble in today's society by approaching women and asking them, will you have sex with me? Now, how many women are going to get in trouble or even have any kind of legal ramifications if they go out and say, sir, I would like you to have sex with me. Now, some men are going to laugh and walk away and think, what the hell? And a woman's not going to like that because they're not used to rejection. Men are used to rejection. Women do not take rejection well because they're not accustomed to it. Men have been dealing with rejection for thousands of years. We know how to handle it. Most men do. A masculine man knows how. But the body count thing is very important to men. Because if a woman has just jumped from one guy to another, how long do you think she's going to stay with you as a man when things get a little tough? She's more than likely going to opt out and go with somebody else. As where a woman who has been with few men or no men, she doesn't want to start something all over again, and she doesn't want to go be with another man. In general, that's the way it works. So body count does matter, and it matters in the minds of men. And whether you think that's right, fair, terrible, misogynistic, whatever, it's just the way it is. You don't have to like it, but you have to accept it. If you want to do something to change it, you can, of course, try to do that. But remember this, a man convinced against his will is a man of the same opinion still. That's it for today. Join me next time here at Mark Daniels, Mark's Inspiration. Thanks for joining me.